Ron Karr is one of the leading business development and turnaround specialists in America and has helped top organizations generate over $500 million in increased sales revenue. That's why CEOs have lined up to endorse his newest book, Lead, Sell, or Get Out of the Way.
And what I'm here to say to you is that you don't have to wait for a catastrophe to use these techniques. You see, these techniques we should be using on a daily basis with our customers. For example, there's a company that I worked with that created a technology in mining a certain metal. They literally helped a lot of the mines prevent themselves from going out of business because they cut in half the amount of money it cost to mine that metal. And in the early 90s, when they brought me down to speak to their organization, I got to speak to the VP, and he started sharing me that one of the bids was coming up at one of their biggest customers. So they flew me out to their headquarters. And when we sat down in the conference room, it was just him and his national account manager and me, and they were telling me about their product. They developed it from scratch 20 years ago. They came into the marketplace. It was such a success. You know, when you come in with a new product to a marketplace, your sales go up. What happens? Competition comes in, right? They see you making money, so they want to re-engineer it. They come in with a competitive offering. And at the time we're talking, they have 60% of the world market share, but only 25% of that largest customer's business. So I sat there and I asked them, what do you want as a result of my intervention with you? And they looked at me and they said, we want to win the bid. I said, no, I'm sorry. I don't think you heard the question. If I gave you a blank piece of paper and you could write down from scratch what you really want to have happen, what would success look like to you? And all of a sudden, passion started coming out. And they said, win the bid? Why should we bid? We started this technology. I said, okay, so you want a negotiated agreement? Absolutely. What else do you want? 50% of the business. I said, is that all you really want? They said, okay, 75%. I said, all right, and what else? How long? 10 years, the life of the patents. So I said, let me see if I get this straight. You want a 10-year negotiated deal for 75% of the business. They said, that's right. And as a New Yorker, I looked at them and I said, you can do that if you really want, but you have to understand it's going to take a different set of actions than simply winning a bid. And of course, they didn't believe me. But we worked with them for over 18 months in helping them reposition themselves with that key customer. And I'll share this story in the next few minutes as we continue. But one point I want you to understand is that your success, your company's success, your salespeople's success, it all starts with what they view success to be. And because they don't look at a big enough picture, they're usually playing too small a game. In this case, this company was going to play the game of a bid. Let's go and compete against everybody on the same things and just win a bid, which is going to be price dependent, and hopefully we'll get an increase in share of profitability and revenues. But just by asking them to look at what that success looks like, they've changed the game. So my question to you as the leaders in your organizations, what does success look like to you in the next year? And are you playing a big enough game? If you were to ask your sales executives how they viewed success, what do you think their answers would be? If you were to ask all the other employees in your companies how they viewed success, what do you think their answers would be? Shouldn't we find this out? Because you see, that perception, that success dictates the actions they take.